Hey everyone. So I just want to do a quick video because I've heard a lot of people saying on the internet that VR is dead because it's too expensive, and they're partly right. It is expensive, but it's gotten a lot cheaper since it first came out, and some quick proof of that is the Oculus Rift and touch controllers, which is a full room scale setup, is only $3.99, and it says it's a limited time, but I have a feeling that will go up and then quickly go back down, especially when Black Friday and that sort of thing rolls around. But anyways, I just wanted to do a quick video showing you a theoretical full setup for a PC and Oculus Rift that is under $1,000 total. So the first component in that PC is the AMD Ryzen 3. It's the 1300X, which is the highest end model of the Ryzen 3. It's probably equivalent to a lower end i5, better than an FX 8350, but this will do the job for VR. Um, this this one is particularly bundled with a motherboard, and this is that motherboard that it's bundled with. It has enough PCI slots, two RAM slots, and obviously your processor slot. It has enough I/O to be satisfactory, and I mean it works. So just get this one because it's bundled with it. You're gonna save a little bit of money. It also comes with a Wraith Stealth cooler, which is just a better version of a stock cooler. So you don't need to upgrade the cooler, and it works. I don't personally have a Wraith Stealth cooler, but I've heard fairly good things about it. It works, and it will cool your CPU better than like an Intel stock cooler. So the next component is just a really cheap ATX case that I could find. Probably the cheapest one, or one of the cheapest out there. I don't know this brand, but as long as it fits your components and doesn't look ugly, it should work, should do the job. Um, yeah, that's the case basically. Nothing much to say about it. This is a Seagate 1 terabyte Barracuda hard drive, and it is a hard disk drive. I know a lot of people prefer SSDs, but if you're trying to get the cheapest possible VR setup, then you're gonna have to settle with a 1 terabyte hard drive, or else you can just pay extra and get an SSD with it or instead of it. This is only $44, so you're getting a terabyte. It's a pretty good deal. A lot of people like Seagate Barracuda, so I figured I'd go with this one. You can obviously look around and see if there's a better one or a better deal out there, but I'll have all this stuff linked below. So if you just want to get this stuff and build it and not have to worry about it, then you can do that. So the next component was the toughest one. This is the Gigabyte GTX 1060 Mini, and this is a 3 gigabyte version. This will be enough for VR. People say that you can run a 1050 Ti with VR, but I really think that this is the true minimum, just because Oculus and HTC want you to buy their headset, and if they say it will work with more graphics cards, then they'll say that to sell them. But I personally think that this is the bare minimum graphics card that will run a HTC Vive, or in this case Oculus Rift, at good quality settings. And I personally own a 6 gig version of the Gigabyte card. It has RGB and it's a little bit bigger, but I can say that it is a very good card. So if you're looking around, this is a good price considering the cryptocurrency craze that happened, and slowly these prices are going down, but this is a cheaper one that I could find. Um, so that's a good option, and it has great reviews too. So with the Oculus Rift, you will need extra USB 3.0 ports. So if you feel like you're running low, I highly recommend you get this card. Technically, you can run the Oculus on 2.0 ports with the sensors, but you should really just spend the extra $16 and get this when you're building your computer. and you'll have enough 3.0 ports to plug in all of your Oculus Rift accessories and sensors. So this is the actual Oculus Rift system. It's only $399, and they say it's going to go up in price. I don't know, but it's $399 right now, so it's a good deal. It's almost half the price of this whole build, but they've gotten a lot cheaper. The Touch and the headset originally launched, and you'd have to pay like $600 or $700. So they've basically cut that almost in half, which is pretty incredible uh, in the last few months. Now you will need a power supply. I just picked out this cheap EVGA $30 power supply. It is 400 watts and it should power everything in the computer. It's not rated for power efficiency. However, it is EVGA, so it is a reputable brand. If you are concerned about power efficiency, you can spend $20 extra and get something that might be modular and power efficient or whatever. But I mean, this is a good cheap option, and it has 4 stars in reviews. And I have used an EVGA power supply in the past, so I can say that it is a good company, and a lot of people will agree with me. But if you want a power rated supply, then you can spend more money, but I would just get this one. And next thing is the Ballistic Sport LT 8 gigs of RAM. Now this is DDR4. You can get 4 gigs, but it's not going to be great for VR. So if you want VR, the minimum is probably 8 gigs. You could get 16 gigs. That's just going to be more expensive. But to stay within the budget, 8 gigs is good. It does have a nice looking heat cooler, heat sink, or whatever you call it. It's RAM. There's nothing special about it. I mean, it's not going to affect your performance that much. So I would just get whatever's cheapest. I'll have all these things linked below so you can see what's cheapest. Or if you just want to buy it, I'll have it linked below. So total, all this together is $983. Now, if you need a copy of Windows, you can probably get one on a discount site for less than $20. Or if you want to use Linux, you can do that. I recommend just getting a cheap copy of Windows, or if you already have a hard drive with Windows installed, just skip buying a hard drive, use that money for an SSD, and put all the components together that way. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to show that VR still is expensive, but it's getting cheaper. And if you really want, you can save up this type of money and get a system. And I will tell you, I own the Oculus Rift. I love it, and I've tried both the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift, and I prefer the Oculus Rift just because of the added buttons on the touch controllers. It's a little bit more ergonomic. But if you want to spend $400 more and get the HTC Vive, just because you prefer that brand, I guess you could. I would just get this one just because it's a lot cheaper, and I personally think it's better. Yeah, so thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, subscribe. Everything will be linked down below.